January 1st, 2024. I'm starting the carnivore diet today. I've done it in the past. A few months ago, I did the carnivore diet for about 3 weeks, and I noticed a lot of positive changes from weight loss, less joint pain, clarity, a lot more positive. Just to kind of take it back a little bit, the reason I'm doing this, I'm sort of a food addict, especially when it comes to like carbs and sugars. So the carnivore diet is an elimination diet where all I'm going to be eating is beef, butter, eggs, and bacon, some raw milk with my coffee. I'm going to be drinking coffee for the month of January, and I'm going to keep you guys updated. So this is day one. I'm going to weigh myself. So I'm about around 200 pounds. Last time I started the carnivore journey, I was 205 and I went down to 195 after 3 weeks of just eating animal products. Right now, I'm eating my first meal, which is some scrambled farm-raised eggs that we get from a local farmer out here, and a little bit of Redmond sea salt and grass-fed Amish butter. And these are 4 eggs right now that I'm starting off the day with. I'm also having a cup of coffee here with a little bit of raw milk, no sugar, of course. So I'll keep you guys updated.
I actually have some oxtail that's roasting in the oven, but it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I haven't eaten yet and I'm pretty hungry. That's the positives with being carnivore or keto, or in this case carnivore, is that you're limited to what you can eat. So even though I am a sales rep, so I drive around a lot and I drive by a lot of fast food places, which I don't really ever eat unless it's some emergency. I don't remember the last time I ate fast food. I will go and get like a bagel, slice of pizza, maybe some Chinese food somewhere. This is when I was eating whatever. I didn't really have a diet plan. Now I'm about to eat. I'm gonna cut one of these steaks up and I'm just gonna grill it for myself. I have a little fire pit out there on my balcony. You know, I haven't weighed myself yet, but I'm thinking I'm around 200 pounds. My body has been aching lately. I've been eating like crap during the holidays, so really feeling it. I'm hoping that I'm gonna be feeling a lot better by consuming just meat and eliminating all the other crap out of my diet. Anyway, that's my day 2. Not much to talk about here. Just really hungry right now. I'm gonna go dive into a steak with some Redmond salt. Catch you guys later. Bye. Day 3 on the carnivore journey. Eating my first meal right now. It's 11 a.m. here in sunny South Florida. I'm eating ground beef that I cooked to medium, maybe a little bit more well done than I like, and definitely well done egg. I actually cooked this in the same fat that I rendered my oxtail in yesterday. I had it left over in this cast iron pan that's right behind me. The fat coagulated, and then this morning I heated it up. I cooked the ground beef in there, cooked the eggs in there, and then I actually added the salt after, which is not usually what I do. I normally season this piece of beef, but I'm kind of in a rush. I'm like in the midst of working right now. I do not work from home, but sometimes I do. That didn't make sense. But anyway, I am working from home right now. I should mention that last night I had a little bit of a craving for some fruit, which is like right behind me. As you can see, that's a persimmon. It's nice and ripe. It's really sweet. Not that I had it yesterday, but this is from my experience of eating it in the past, of course. It was just like a quick like, oh man, that'd be like really good to eat right now. But I'm like, I gotta give like an honest review, actual experience and experiment of me not eating any sweets. I decided obviously I'm not gonna do it. I didn't. That craving came and went, you know. Last year, I knew that I was gonna go carnivore for the month of January and maybe a little bit longer. I indulged a lot. I was eating lots of sweets. Like the day of New Year's, I ate 3 or 4 different types of cake and I overate. You know, I kind of just like got it out of my system, I guess you could say. Probably not the healthiest thing to do, but since I knew that it was gonna be the last time that I might ever see these kind of foods or ever eat this kind of food rather, I was like, let me take full advantage. Oh, I should also mention that last night I slept really well. When I go carnivore, I noticed that because I sleep deeper, I have really vivid dreams that I can remember and that I could tell a story about, which is usually not the case. Normally, like I don't remember dreams that much, know bits and pieces of it, especially when I'm not eating a healthy diet, when I'm eating lots of processed carbs, when I'm eating lots of sugar, when I'm eating gluten. Don't sleep very well because I have like, I get like acid reflux, which just kind of started a year or 2 ago for the first time. Since I slept really well, I get vivid dreams. That kind of normally happens when I'm on the carnivore diet. So we'll see how that plays along. Today's day 3. My first meal today. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling optimal. I'm feeling more in control of my life. I'm not succumbing to the cravings, and I'm not running to eat something every time I feel an emotional trigger, fear or worry, right? I mean, those things come and go. Food is not going to solve it. It's just going to numb it like any other drug. That's just been my thought process on it. We'll continue this. We got 27 more days to go. I'm turning 40 this month in a couple of days, having a barbecue straight beef because I'm 40. It's time for me to really take control of the one thing that's always taken control of me, which is and my diet. Been so many yo-yo diets. Let's try this. Let's see what the hype is all about. I understand the mechanics of it. I understand the science of it. And now that there's a lot more back data and a lot more doctors promoting it, not just like random people, even though random people's accounts for me are still just. This is why I'm doing this now. I have perfect time in my life and I'll see what happens at the end of the month. Here, let me take a bite for you guys. Yeah, it's definitely cold. That's cool. Bye. Just finished eating some oxtail. Not long after that, I was still kind of hungry. Probably ate like 2 of the big bones of the oxtail, if you guys are familiar with it. But after that, I ate 5 scrambled eggs because I was still hungry. You know, like I wasn't full. I'm used to eating something sweet after this. It feels kind of strange. I'm not gonna lie. Like the good things that I'm feeling is a lot of calmness and a lot of peace within because I'm not indulging in all my addictions. But then again, I'm used to getting something that's almost dopamine inducing, and that's not happening right now. I'm taking out those sugars, right? So obviously I can feel that difference. Shout out Aviation Life, my sister's clothing brand. I just thought I'd just make a quick little video. Normally I'm kind of busy doing this or that. I have an Amazon store which I work on a couple hours a day. I have a job, a full-time job also, which I'm a sales rep at a caviar company, caviar and other things, high-end food. So I'm always on the road. I'm visiting chefs all the time, new clients, old clients, whatever. But I'm always doing something, right? Like lately I've been editing videos. I would just want to sit around and watch Netflix all day, which sometimes I do, not all day. You know, I'll watch half a movie or even a full movie and I'll be like, all right, that's it for a couple of days or for a week. I would like to do that less, but whatever, it is what it is right now. I'll work on that. I'm feeling good. I'm full of energy. I don't even though I ate a lot of fat, a lot of protein, I don't have like this heartburn and I'm not tired. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this down. I just thought I'd come on here and make a quick video. I'm just gonna take a nap, lay down and watch a movie because I've been working all day and I've completed a couple of other tasks that I mentioned earlier for my store, my Amazon store, and we're gonna end it here. Ciao. Day 4 on the carnivore journey. Today's January 4th. Had an okay sleep last night. Woke up a couple of times. I don't know why exactly. What I have noticed, positive side, is that getting out of bed is a lot easier. I used to have a lot of pain in my hips, and I know it's only been 4 days, but maybe that's not just a little bit of time, maybe even just one day of not eating carb, processed food, and man-made sugars, and even maybe not even eating that way just for 24 hours is really beneficial. Because after 4 days, I already feel different. You know, I feel my body not aching as much, and that to me is everything. I used to have a really bad back. It had a lot to do with the toxins that I was putting in my body. Not having that pain is something I look forward to. I'm gonna fast a little bit this morning because I'm really not that hungry after eating oxtail and scrambled eggs last night. Probably do a little bit of ground beef today for lunch with some more eggs, and then I'm gonna go to the farm, Mirando Farms, where we pick up our eggs and our raw milk. And as I mentioned yesterday, I just feel a lot calmer and a lot more at peace with myself, or not indulging and not succumbing to my addictions. I'm the first person to say that I'm addicted to food, especially I'm addicted to food, but I'm especially addicted to carbohydrates and sugar. If those can categorize in the same category because how they break down in the body. I really don't know much about the science behind it, but it's what I've heard in the past or what I've read in the past. Feel differently, then I'll stop. Also, last night I went to the gym around 9 o'clock. Our gym is 24 hours. I did a long sauna and steam room session. I weighed myself for the first time and I was 202 pounds. I should have weighed myself day 1, but it's probably been the same. I don't think I've lost any weight. Maybe a pound possibly, but anyway, that's what I weigh today, 202 on January 4th, and we'll see what I weigh in at the end of the month without starving myself, with doing some intermittent fasting and just eating animal products. It's 12:13 in the afternoon and I'm about to have my first meal. I just got done working the first half of my morning, where I was driving around to different markets, different hotels and restaurants. On my way home, I stopped off at Mirando Farms, where I get my eggs, I get my dairy, and that's pretty much it. So I got raw kefir yogurt, farm raised eggs. I have a ground beef patty here that I just seared in a little bit of grass fed butter. And then I shredded a little bit of cheese on top of that. I'm gonna enjoy my first meal. I was on the road, so I got a little bit hungry. Like normally I would stop and get like some sort of croissant at a bakery because I am working around food. I do stop off at some of these markets and I really do get tempted, not gonna lie. Sandwich made with baguette and really good meats and whatnot. Obviously, right now I'm not doing any of that. You know, the good thing about it is you save money because you're not snacking, eating to kill time. Reason I eat, you're not even really that hungry. I could wait. What's a $3, $4, $5 croissant? It's really not gonna break the bank, but over time, and obviously it adds up. About to enjoy this meal. It's going good. It's day 5 today. At night, I notice that I get the cravings for the sugar. I think if I eat enough protein and fat, it goes away. You know, I've been feeling not too many changes. It's really just my body feels better. I feel less bloated, hungry now when I eat because I'm not snacking on things that aren't carnivore, like a bag of chips or some nuts. You're at the office and there's a box of donuts. You know, I'm not I'm not indulging. I definitely find myself a lot hungrier. Like right now it's around 1:30 in the afternoon. It's gonna be my first meal. I drank a club soda or a sparkling water, drink some filtered water. I drink really good high quality water. I am consciously aware of food, but the quality of food. I just made myself this beautiful New York strip steak. I seared it in its own fat. I seared that fat cap first. I'll show you guys a video one day. Once that was rendered down, then I used the fat from that fat cap to sear the rest of the beef, which gave it this golden brown crispiness. Here you can hear that. Anyway, this is day 5. This is my first meal of the day. So far, everything's been going according to plan. I haven't been eating any fruits or any carbohydrates. Trying to get my body into ketosis, where I start to burn fat, as some of you might already be aware of that. The last time I did the carnivore challenge, I would say it's a challenge because, especially if you have food addictions, cravings, a mental strength you have to pursue. I'm eating less. I haven't had a bowel movement. Yesterday I didn't have one. It can be kind of normal. As we're talking about it, I actually feel one coming. I'm gonna edit that part out. So that's exciting. I'm gonna keep doing this thing. At my 40th birthday coming up, so I'm doing a barbecue for it with my family. Obviously, there's gonna be a lot of protein, a lot of meat there. There's gonna be a cake, which I'm not gonna eat. I'm committing myself to this challenge for the months. I'm not going to fall under pressure to allow myself to eat that. You know, maybe next month I could celebrate. This is a win for me. Cake, and I know what it tastes like. It's fine. I'm not too upset about that. I'm actually on my way to play some basketball right now. We play every Saturday. We play for like a good 2 hours. So I'm gonna see what the carnivore diet is gonna benefit me. Is it gonna help me last longer or play harder? I'll bring you a update when I get back. My girlfriend, we've been together for 6 years. We were both vegan. I was vegan after I met her because she was raw vegan for about 10 years. And I was a normal, classically trained chef. We came together, we both became vegan. I was doing it mostly for the animals and she was doing it for health. Come to find out, it does neither. Anyway, that's another story, that's another day. Talk about that later. I'm sure you guys have heard already if you do follow anybody in the carnivore community. I just wanted to show you what I was eating for lunch today. It's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I just got back from the dentist, got a nice teeth cleaning. A good thing about not eating a lot of sugar, not a lot of things to clean, you know, especially if you floss daily, use an electric toothbrush. But what I have here, soup that I made last night, some pieces of cartilage in there. There's some sausage, blood sausage. And what I like to do is actually scramble about 4 eggs in butter. I put it in the bottom of the bowl here. I sprinkle it with a little bit of pecorino romano or some other cheese, maybe like a raw cheddar, something like that I get from the farmer's market. And then I pour the soup on top of that. Definitely heavy on the protein, heavy on the fat, and it's just absolutely delicious and filling. So this is my lunch today. It is day 9. Tomorrow is officially my birthday. 1 year around the moon, the sun, forgot the expression, but I'm gonna be 40. So no longer in my 30s, and I got to take care of my health a lot more. I mean, you should always take care of your health, but now it's not an option, because you're getting older. But I don't want to age the way normal people age. Oh, 40, I'm so old. I don't feel old. I feel young. I feel like I look pretty good. I don't really have any gray hairs. There's like one or two here and there. But now I just got to get my health in shape and my mental health as well in check. So that's my update on the 9th day of carnivore. I'm feeling good. The hunger, the cravings are almost completely gone. As long as I know that I'm going to be eating something that's nutritious and satisfying, then I'm happy. Easy for me because I'm a chef, but it's also easy if you're not a chef because there's tons of recipes out there. And I will soon be giving out some of my recipes that I personally like to use in cooking carnivore. So that's it for today, or for now. I'll check back with you guys later for dinner. I think I might be doing some New York strips since I bought a whole entire New York strip steak, like the whole entire strip itself, and I portioned it out myself, and that's got to be eaten. So I'll do that later. I'll show you how I like to render the fat cap first before searing the meat in its own fat. It's kind of nice. We'll get there later. I'll see you guys in a few hours. Ciao.
This is delicious.
It's official. I'm now 40 years old. I don't exactly know what time I was born. I've been on this earth for 40 years now. I'd like to figure this shit out. Have a proper diet where I feel satisfied, I don't have cravings, and I don't hurt from it. What am I doing to celebrate this 10th day of the month, this 40-year birthday of mine? I'm gonna go play basketball because I have a lot of energy. Today it's kind of weird. I was kind of craving some things that I guess I'm used to celebrating. What better way to celebrate your birthday than to have something sweet or some noodles, ramen, things that I normally really like to eat, anything with gluten. That's my kryptonite. I'm not gonna do that though. I'm gonna continue to just eat steak, other animal products like the oxtail tendons, chicken wings, whatever, you name it. The fattier, the more flavorful, the more I want. Just wanted to come on here and say today is my birthday, and I already celebrated on Sunday, so I'm not planning on going to any restaurant. We did a barbecue for it a couple days ago. Added some leftover barbecue food, and I turned that into a soup. Just added some beef tendons that I found at the store the other day. There's a meat and seafood market that I'm trying to open up an account with them because I do have my job is selling high-end food wholesale to restaurants, markets. Turned that into a soup, finished it yesterday. I got some New York strips that I got to go through. Not eating as much, I'm just not as hungry. They're kind of just sitting there right now in my fridge. Grill them or sear them. Right now I'm kind of full. I was craving barbecue. I think that's the only thing that I would eat, like smoked meat. I just had to find out whether or not they use a dry rub that has sugar in it, or black pepper because of oxalates. Last time I did this, I was doing really good with the keto. I was going really strong. I was on day 13, I believe, and I had a lot of black pepper, and I just got sick. I mean, it could have been timing, it could have been the keto flu, but I just felt that's when I broke my diet because I got sick. Called my mom. My mom's like, oh, this is crazy. You can't be doing this. Go eat some rice because that's their remedy, right? Yeah, I just want to mention that today something just clicked. I don't know if it's because I just turned 40 or whatever the reason is, but I just felt my brain was just a lot more clear today. My thoughts were a lot more positive. It could be the weather, it could be so many things. I just felt just a lot more clear. It was a really good feeling. And my energy level was high. I did not get tired today. I drove around a lot. I went to see a lot of customers, and normally I would just be tired of driving. I drove probably like 60 miles, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's kind of over the course of the whole day, maybe even even more, maybe 70 miles. But anyway, today just something felt really good. Last night I got the shank, I got some neck bones to make a nice bone stock, got some tripe, love tripe. But you just got to cook it a while. It really is nothing to it. Low simmer, don't boil it. I got already some pre-made stock, clean ingredients. There is some celery in there. I'm trying to kind of like ease into it a little bit. And let me just tell you, today on Saturdays I go play basketball every Saturday. And when I play basketball, just eating conventional food, let me tell you, my body after, it's done. I mean, I'm in bed the whole entire time. And this time, I mean, we played and played and played. I played really well. That's besides the point, but I'm not in pain. Actually, I have a lot of energy. My hips don't hurt. My back doesn't hurt. Yeah, I'm 40 years old. And why bring that up? I'm not saying that I'm old, but if you don't warm up and you don't work out, mostly it's just like eating right? I feel like that's like the key thing here. Like, I could go without working out, but if I work out and eat okay, I'll probably still have the pains. I'll probably be even more sore, to be honest. I bet I could go work out. Like, I used to do the gym a lot. A little bit of backstory, guys. I started working out when I was like 17 back in high school. This was in the early, like, late 90s, okay? I guess that's how old I am. But I'm sure some of you guys are thinking like, dude, that's young. My demographic is like 45 to 55, which I get why, because you really start thinking about diet, and you start thinking with your brain instead of with your heart, which I think is where you become more logical in your thinking, and you're not just like going along with the mainstream diet advice, which is like balanced diet, balanced eating. Some people just can't do it. I can't just eat. I'm a chef, so I don't go out to eat very often. So if I cook rice, I'm cooking 2 cups of rice, which turns into 4 to 6 cups of rice, and I'm eating most of that myself. Making a fried rice, I'm making rice with eggs, I'm making soup, I add the rice to it. It's like, it's like 0 to 100, you know, there's no in between. Once I start, I'm off the rails. That's just like the addict in me. I am a recovering addict. So, and I know that I'm probably cursing myself in a way by stating that that's what happens to me. But it's fine. I recognize, I have awareness. I know myself at this point. I don't have that balance cell in me. Mine is like either left or right. There's no middle for me. Like, I go and I go balls to the wall. I go ham, pun intended. So yeah, I played basketball, played like 4 games, lost them all, but I had some good shots. I don't even care. Like, normally if I lose, and we lose like really bad, it sucks. But it is what it is, just games. We've been going out there for like 4 or 5 months every Saturday. Me and my cousin, we live nearby each other. We go out there. We're on a group text. It's a lot of fun. All the guys are a lot older. Like, we're all pretty much the same age. So there's a couple of advantages. Like, they played in high school, they played in college, whatever. But we're learning from each other. It's great. I'm mostly learning from them. So I just want to make this video to say, my body feels great. I don't have any soreness. I don't have any pains using my feet, my hips, or B, I'm an addict. I'm a recovering addict / alcoholic, whatever. I mean, some people say it's the same thing. Really doesn't matter. You know, it's all semantics. And so I'm not normal. I'm not a normie. I either go and I go hard, or I don't do it at all. So with that said, I'm loving this diet. I'm gonna make that soup in a little bit. Probably gonna film a little bit of it just to show you guys what I do to make like a really, really good clean soup. I'm a 20-year chef, professional. I've worked in Michelin restaurants, hotels, other countries, private chef. I had my own restaurant. It was actually a vegan restaurant. I'll talk about that in another video. I was vegan for about 4 years, hardcore, you know, one of those militant vegans. Like if you didn't join, if you weren't vegan, cult vegan, if you weren't vegan, I was mad at you for not doing, like it didn't work unless you did it too, which you know, I recognized after. At first I thought I was like, you know, I had the higher ground, so I was telling everybody what to do. Anyway, I don't want to ramble, that's probably for another video, so I can just keep it short and sweet. Progress, I've lost about 4 pounds at this point. I'm not losing as much, and I think maybe that has something to do with like the vegetables that I'm eating. Maybe they're keeping on a little bit more water weight. I don't know. I think because I do have more variety, I am eating more. Like if I had less variety, if I had less choices, I would probably eat less, because like it's like, another steak. I know it's kind of weird. When I'm not eating like this, I'm like, oh my God, I'm craving steak. When I'm eating like this, I'm like, oh, another steak. Right? And it's like the fact that I got to cook it myself. I got to clean the smell in the house, or get the grill going on my little balcony here. Whatever, guys. Like, that's really all I got to say. This is how I make thick beef broth. What I'm going to do here, I take these neck bones that I get. I mean, you could probably find this at your local butcher. I was lucky to find them at my local Publix. I'm gonna roast these off in the oven at a high temperature, like 425. Then we got the beef shanks here. These are pretty cheap too. Both of those are about $5, $6 a pound. Hopefully you can find the same deal. I mean, they're not grass-fed, unfortunately. I would love to just do all grass-fed, but you know, Bidenomics. I can't do grass-fed right now. Not 100%, but I try to as much as possible. In here, we got a big fat piece of tripe, about 2 pounds in there. That's going to add some gelatinous to the mix. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually poach this in here for about 2 hours. I'm going to do about an hour before I put the rest of the meat in there. So these guys are going both in the oven to get some caramelization on there. This is already started. Got that fire on, the electric fire. I'm going to boil this for about, or low simmer for about an hour. All right, so we got these tripe noodles. So I cooked them for a few hours. Here's a little bit of sage in here. I just had some leftover herbs. I did throw a couple of carrots in there. Obviously that's not carnivore, that's more on the keto side, but that's okay. I'm making exceptions as long as it's not, you know, a processed carbohydrate or a sugar in the form of sugar. Here we have the beef shank, which we cooked for a while, so that's a little piece of fat right there, but this is, as you can see, it's, you know, it's cutting like butter. And this broth is just delicious. It's so fatty, so flavorful. I threw some star anise in there, or star anise, however you prefer to pronounce that, and some cilantro stems too. So yeah, that's the soup. We have a lot left over. It's going to be good for a couple of days. We might have to freeze some even. Days into the carnivore journey. I'm here to talk about the progress so far. There's a guy on YouTube called Big Man Alaska. He's lost over 100 pounds. I believe on the carnivore. He started keto. He talks about the type of diet that he does, and it's called a 90-10 diet. So 90% carnivore or animal products, 10% he loves his life. That's how he states it. The reason I'm mentioning this is because the other day I had my nephew over, and I don't have any sweets in the house. I normally don't, even when I'm not doing carnivore, because I tend to eat pretty healthy. Like, we don't like Hershey's or anything like that. We do chocolate. It's like we're gonna get like organic, fair trade, single origin, you know, all those fancy terms, chocolate. But I made him I have some frozen bananas, organic bananas, and some frozen dark cherries. Organic dark cherries. I gotta say, I don't know why I gotta keep saying organic, but it's organic. Most of my food, 99% of the food that I eat is organic. I don't even care if it's a fad. Some people are like, oh, it's the same, you know, just eating organic or not, but whatever, it makes me feel better and tastes better. But I made him a smoothie. He didn't finish it, so I drank it myself. So that's that 10%. I've also heard that 10% makes the difference in the diet. For this whole month, I could eat 90% carnivore and then just like 10% cheat days, and I will probably not lose any weight, which seems to be the case. First time I did carnivore, I was dropping weight like crazy. I mean, my body was even going into a form of withdrawals.
I was sweating a lot more during work, flu-like, antsy. Something was different the first time I did carnivore. And first time I did it, it was, just animal products until I got sick. From the keto flu, I didn't know what it was. I didn't research. And so I jumped off with some rice. I started eating soup with vegetables. I snowballed from there into regular omnivore type of eating. I haven't seen a lot of progress. I'm still pretty much at the same weight that I was. I'm probably lost like 2 pounds. Inflammation is down, which is good. Energy levels are up on the weight, which is something that was top of my list, was to lose weight, because I'm 200 pounds and I'm 5'7". I used to walk around 165, 170 for most of my adult career, adult life. I'm not a big fan of being 200 pounds, being a waist 33. I want to get back down to like a waist 30 or 32, if possible 30, that'd be great. So I actually keep all my clothes. My significant other, she keeps telling me to get rid of my clothes, but every time I get rid of the clothes, ironically, I lose the weight, and then I regret that I threw away my clothes. So this time, I'm trying something different. I haven't eaten a processed carb or a processed sugar, except in the form of fruit. I'm going to try harder. These next 2 weeks, I'm going to tighten up the belt, be more strict on what I'm eating, not cheat, and we'll see where it goes from there. I'm hoping to lose at least 5 more pounds before the end of the month. I got to give myself some credit, though, for doing what I have done so far, so yay to me. But I could definitely do better, and I will. In a past video, or a couple days ago, I said it's 90-10, so 90% carnivore, 10% I love my life. But that, I felt like that was keeping me on a plateau. It wasn't allowing me to get to where I needed to get to, where I was feeling the keto effect. I already lost 4 pounds. I feel lighter, more energetic. I can think quicker. I'm sleeping better. I'm not having this heartburn. I feel like I'm finally grasping the whole carnivore way of living. I'm just like surrounding myself with videos of guys and gals that are on the carnivore journey and their testimonials and their transformation, which is like helping me stay on task. Because I want that. I want to get healthier than I am right now. I want that 6-pack. I want to feel like I'm 20. Is that so wrong? Like, I want to look better than what I looked like in my 20s. Wasn't too healthy because there was a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol. But that's a story for another day if you guys are still interested in hearing that. One thing that I keep thinking about is any diet really is kicking a habit or kicking an addiction. You can't just do it 90% of the way. As an alcoholic, I can relate a diet and addiction. You have to cut it all out. You can't just tap dance in a little bit of chips, because where you can't just do it a little bit, when you have that gene or that bug, a normal person can just drink to a certain amount. And then some people, when they do it, and they don't stop because it feels good. Like eating some vegetables, I was still having fruit here and there, really honestly not that much, 10%. But that 10% kicking me out of the mentality, because I kept saying, okay, well, I can still have a salad, put like a shit ton of dressing on it, put some carrots in there, so there's the sugar. I just do better when I don't have any of that. Just eat meat. I get satiated, I don't get heartburn, and I don't crave. Even when I was eating vegetables, I was craving noodles because it was almost giving me a pass. Maybe you could just balance it. Maybe you could just do a little bit of this and then a little bit of pasta if it's gluten-free, right? Because gluten is a problem here. Like, I can't do any of it. I got to take it all out. Just like I quit weed 9 months ago. I can't just smoke a little bit. And people are like, can't you just smoke like at night or on the weekend? Like, they just don't get it. It's like when you have a peanut allergy. You don't just eat a little bit of peat because it'll kill you. Now, this stuff won't kill me, but it feels like every day I'm killing my morality, killing my energy. I'm killing opportunities. It is death to me. It's hell on earth is what it is. All right, we're gonna try them testicles that I was cooking earlier. Here's a sliced nut, bull fries. We have a little bit of I made a soup with the tripe and some chicken wings that were marinated for a couple of days now. Marinated, I mean with no sugar. It's just like dry spice, which, full disclosure, I know it's not carnivore, right? I don't think lions season their meat before they eat. I do. Here we go.
Fuck it. Put the whole thing in your mouth. I have had testicles before, but they were lamb testicles. They were definitely a lot creamier than this because it's like a smaller animal, so they didn't really have time to develop into, you know, this full-fledged. Basically, it's kind of grainy in the center, and it has like a very organ-tasting meat. I know it's an organ, so I'm like, is it an organ? So that's why it's gonna taste like this. But anyway, let's try a piece of this tripe. For those that have never had tripe, you have to. This is called honeycomb because of the pattern in there. So this is the lining of the stomach of the cow. It's been washed, pulled up all the hair, not by me, but by the butcher that I get it from. Braised for a few hours. It's like eating an edible sponge with flavor. And it kind of takes on, it's funny because it kind of takes on the flavor of whatever you're cooking. And then it still has like cattle flavor. You know you're eating a part of the animal that's not very common. It's good, it's chewing. The longer you cook it, the softer it gets. And you can actually like slice it really thin and make noodles out of it. Manipulate or create that molecular gastronomy with carnivore foods. And if you miss like noodles, I guess you could some tripe in there. There's a chicken wing bone. There's a sliced testicles, and that's it. We got 2 more days left on this carnivore journey. Feeling good. I've been eating really well. I have slipped up a couple of times where I had things that were not carnivore, but I'm not gonna punish myself too much on it. I think it's a journey. You know, as long as like I get there eventually, I think it's fine. I think it's fine as long as your journey lasts however long you wanted it to last until you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I think I'm gonna continue to eat this way at least like as much as possible. I do have an addiction to sugar and carbs, so I have to stay away from them as much as possible. Maybe I'll do fresh fruit when it's in season, just fell off a tree or something and just like hit me on the head kind of thing. Not ice cream and cakes and other sweets. I think I'm definitely done with that. I just wanted to show you while I'm here. I don't want to talk your ear off, but I just made these chicken nuggets I just showed you. They're actually really good. They have like a nice like crisp outside that feels like there's like breading flavor in there. This is a really cool recipe. I'll show you guys how to do this recipe in the future. It's really easy. It's just 4 ingredients, maybe 5 if you add some spices, but still really simple and really delicious. Here we are, killing them. Nice little snack. Could be a nice meal too. Could make them as fat as you want, as thin as you want. Add different cheeses to it. Make different sauces. If you're into the whole sauce thing on the carnivore diet, if not, I totally get it. Delicious nonetheless. Just 2 more days. I'll give you my results of the 30-day-ish carnivore challenge. My 30-day carnivore journey has ended today. Today is the last day of me just eating proteins. I've been doing this for 30 days now. There was a couple of days, I'm gonna be honest, exactly 2 days that I slipped up. One was my 40th birthday. I had a cheesecake that my sister bought for my birthday cake, Oreo cheesecake. I normally don't even eat Oreos, like literally don't eat Oreos, because this was 10 days in of not eating any carbs or sugar. I just thought that maybe I could allow myself to eat a little bit of sugar that day. It was my 40th. I was making excuses basically. Like, oh, well, you know, it's never gonna happen again, and right, once in a lifetime type opportunities. I've done carnivore diet back in October, beginning of November, before the holidays, and I felt absolutely amazing. I was losing a lot of weight. I was also working a job as a server, so I was burning a lot of calories. I was taking between 8,000 and 10,000 steps at this particular restaurant that I was working at. I was doing a lot of cardio. That helped to burn a lot more weight. During my carnivore month, I was about maybe 2.5, 3 weeks, if I can remember correctly. And then I slipped up one day, just stopped for like 2 months. January 1st is coming. I'm gonna start again. I enjoyed it. My inflammation is completely gone. Before, I actually found it hard to like put my pants on in the morning. I would feel tightness in my hip. I had lower back pain. All my joints were popping. I didn't lose as much weight as I wanted to lose this time. Maybe it is because I did slip up those few times that I didn't lose weight. Plus, as I mentioned, I was going to the gym. I was doing a lot of sauna, a lot of steam room, which I don't really think it helps you lose fat. If I'm not mistaken, you lose a lot more water weight. I got all year to perfect it, to improve on it a little bit more. Right now, it's not about perfection, it's progress for me. That I feel better when I don't eat processed carbs and sugars. A lot improves between mental clarity, my mental health, physicality, my endurance, my addiction to food obviously is under control. I'm gonna continue to do it. I made this 30-day video without it being completely carnivore. I tried my best. I could have done better. I'm gonna continue to hold myself accountable, and I'm creating this channel. Others can try it as well and see what they get out of it. I do think that it's a really healthy way of living. I don't see any reason to really eat sugar or carbohydrates, and that's how I think right now. Maybe my thought might change in the future. Maybe I might learn something new. That's just how I feel at this moment. Today is the 31st, so it's my last day on the carnivore journey. I'm gonna wrap it up. I want to sum up my experience with the carnivore diet. Overall, I feel a lot better. It's really subtle. It's things that you take granted for. Just feeling more clarity. Let me start by saying, if you're a high energy person, stressed, anxiety, even maybe some anger issues, which I think a lot of people that grew up in the 80s and 90s like I did might have that. Our parents didn't have the information that we have now about parenting, about psychology, about different foods. So I think we all kind of grew up a little bit sick mentally. You think it's normal until you start to get healthy, and then you realize how sick you really were. And that's how I sum up the carnivore, or eating low carb, eating high protein, no processed foods, no processed sugars, or as little as possible. More protein in the body, more healthy fats, butter, rendering of bacon, or you just start to feel different. You feel more energetic, you feel less tired, more hopeful. You're in control of your life a little bit more because you don't have these addictions that, put it this way, I used to deal with emotions with adding processed foods into my body or adding drugs or alcohol back in the day. And now that's not what I need, because I'm eating a more balanced diet, and not in the balanced sense of the mainstream balance, which is to eat your fruits, your vegetables, some grains, legumes. I honestly don't know how I feel about fruit. Maybe fruit in season is not as bad as strawberries in the winter. How did that even happen? Lately, I've been noticing a shift in my mood, in my energy. I can contribute it a lot to the diet that I've been practicing. I'm gonna continue to eat this way. I'm not gonna be as strict. I think it's a progression. As I put proteins and high fats into my body, I will want less of that other stuff. Almond butter and you name it. Things that like you think are healthy, but I think we're just been brainwashed to think these things, to be honest with you. Right now, I'm on a progression. I'm not strict carnivore. I'm more very low carb, like 25 to 50 grams a day or every other day, and just high protein, high fat, really good salt, good water, no alcohol. I'm sleeping as much as I can, sleeping 7-8 hours a night, focus on other things like continuing to work, build my Amazon store, edit videos, build this YouTube channel if possible. So that's my take on it. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoy the way I feel. I feel a lot lighter. I feel no inflammation. I don't feel bloated. My clothes is fitting better. My face is looking healthier. My skin is looking good too. So that's it. If you really like this video, subscribe for more. I will be doing some of the recipes that I showed you in this video, plus a lot more. I think that's going to be really important, because at the end of the day, this is all about what you eat. And if you know what to eat and you know how to make it and prepare it, you're going to have a better success rate. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Until next time, my friends.